Good evening, it's Friday night. You're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight, Anna Hazare is back and so is Arvind Kejriwal. But are their movements waning? Do they have a clear agenda? And can they sustain themselves without each other? Also, as the Sangh Parivar puts pressure on the BJP to go back to the Ram Temple, will that be political suicide for the BJP or will going back to the basics help the principal opposition party? Those are our big debates this evening. But first, we haven't seen them in a while on the news, but in the last 48 hours, Anna Hazare and Arvind Kejriwal are back on our screens. Anna relaunching his anti-corruption movement with a rally in Patna yesterday, and Arvind Kejriwal with another expose this evening, this one on power tariffs in Delhi. The two men have come a long way from the early days of the Lokpal agitation nearly 2 years ago that saw unprecedented crowds on the streets identifying with their cause. But here they are today in different camps with different goals. The question is, can they succeed?
सरकार हमें जनता को बार-बार धोखाधड़ी कर रही है.
Anna Hazare in Patna's historic Gandhi Maidan, his first rally since he parted ways with his former aide Arvind Kejriwal to announce his apolitical outfit, the Jantantra Morcha.
मोर्चा जो हम लोग बनाने जा रहे हैं, वो कभी चुनाव नहीं लड़ेगा. वो सिर्फ देश की जनता की सेवा करेगा.
The old regulars giving way to his new team, General V.K. Singh, Kiran Bedi and Santosh Bhartia. But if the turnout is any indication, Anna must be missing the organizational skills of his old team.
और जनता अगर संगठित हो गई और सरकार गिराने की शक्ति जनता में आ गई तो ये कानून बनाने पड़ेंगे.
Parties like the RJD were quick to dismiss the Anna rally as a flop.
उनका पट्टी भंडूल हो गया. केजरीवाल लोग पार्टी बना दिया, मोदी चले गए.
A marked come down for the anti-corruption crusaders who were dominating TV screens and front pages a little over a year ago. But within months, the magic started fading. Even Arvind Kejriwal started off his solo crusade with a bang, but his latest press outing hardly registered. Though the Lokpal mission has almost become a government mission, an unfazed Kejriwal continues his battle for the Lokpal bill.
We are not here for power. We are not here for my own career.
अरविंद इंडिविजुअल कितना भी अच्छा हो, उनके साथ वाले लोगों पर आरोप हुए ना.
Now Anna plans to tour at least 4 states in February before launching a nationwide campaign. But is it too late for the anti-corruption movement that swayed thousands? With Manish Kumar, Vijay Kumar for NDTV.
So the question we're asking tonight is whether Anna and Arvind's movements have fizzled out, or is it too premature for us to make that judgment? Joining us on the program tonight, we have Senior Congress leader Manishankar Iyer. We have Shazia Ilmi, who's a member of the executive of the Aam Aadmi Party of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. We also have with us a member of Anna's team, Sunita Godara, who joins us tonight from Delhi. We have our two commentators with us, Siddharth Bhatia from Mumbai and Ashok Malik here in Delhi. Let me ask Shazia Ilmi first. Shazia, where do these two movements stand today? Because after the split last year, Arvind has been very careful about how he speaks about Anna. He's been very polite about how he speaks of Anna. Anna says, don't use my name. I think today also Anna Hazare has raised some questions about people who are around Arvind while not questioning Arvind's integrity. Has this split, in a sense, weakened both of you, both sides?
Well, I would say it would have been much better had they been together. But Arvind and most of us who rallied behind Arvind Kejriwal feel that political intervention was necessary. Electoral intervention is necessary. If you want to change the system, you have to be a part of it. While Anna feels primarily that if you join politics, it's too dirty a game. And I feel we fight corruption in different ways. So, the whole idea of activism has changed now. While Anna does it in his way, I think Arvind has a cohesive political plan and an agenda. Not just Lokpal bill, but other ideas as well, which we want to bring to the politics of this country.
Let me take that question to Sunita Godara of Anna's team. Sunita, what do you think? Do you think that as a split movement, it's done more harm than good to the cause that both sides are trying to propagate?
See, the cause is same, but it's up to the individual how they go about it. It's non-electoral politics, and some are going for politics. So see, the aim is same, that they want to clean up the system, and there's no harm. If good people are going into politics, that's also good. And if public awareness, through public awareness, if we want to put public pressure on the system, that is also perfectly all right.
But Sunita, would you admit that having Arvind Kejriwal as part of a different team has also weakened Anna Hazare? Because Arvind Kejriwal and his team, and people like Shazia who's sitting here, who understand the media, who have been part of the media, you know, those eyeballs are gone for Anna. You know, if you look at the rally turnout in Patna, it's been very lukewarm. Even before that, the turnouts have been much less than what he was used to.
Okay, I'll tell you 2 points. First of all, I wish Arvind was with the non-electoral politics, like with the movement, without going into electoral politics so soon. That would have been the best thing. But now he's trying to go for electoral politics, so that's his choice. And now about the Patna rally, it was not lukewarm. It was wonderful. It was showing the same kind of enthusiasm like Ramlila Maidan, because they were Bihar people, you know. It was JP Andolan land. So the enthusiasm was the same. Only
Not
thing
really.
is,
The crowds were very lukewarm.
if 2 people, Anna Hazare and Arvind Kejriwal, they have brought this movement up to the heights, and I wish they were together.
Let me get Mr. Manishankar Iyer's first thoughts on that. Let's take a look at where they were 2 years ago, and you saw the kind of response that they got from the crowds. Why aren't they getting that same response today?
Yep, because they've gone from fizz to fizzle. They've the issues they've raised
Are valid.
are very live. They're very live. The point was that I don't think they expected that kind of a reaction at that time. They were carried away by it and thought that it was now, you know, this was
A revolution.
Anna Hazare, the Dandi March. It didn't happen. And I think this argument within has been there since the freedom movement as to whether you influence it by being within the movement, or do you influence it by also having access to the ruling establishment. So I welcome the fact that Arvind Kejriwal has decided to take the plunge into politics. I wish him well. I can't say that I expect him to do well, but I wish him well. And I think it's appropriate that in a democracy, new parties can come with new ideas, and let him face it out there. As for Anna Hazare, I think he always was somebody who, from the fringes of society, was attempting to, by example and precept, and generally by lecturing, to make the heart of the country move in the direction which he decreed. And because there's a lot of infirmities in his position, that hasn't happened. But it doesn't mean the issues that he raised at the time when he was very much in the public news. The other thing is that I blame the television channels. They gave them 15 seconds of fame, and they thought it was theirs for life. It isn't. This is a very tough business. And once
to
you
sustain
realize
it in
that
the long term, it has to be beyond the Obi-Vans, is what
well,
you're saying.
I think there's a big role for civil society in a democracy. So there's no reason why both Anna and Arvind Kejriwal cannot flourish. In fact, I hope they do flourish. But I think they must recognize that at the end of the day, the only place where decisions can be taken in a democracy with respect to the law is the floor of Parliament.
No, is that true, Ashok Malik, that a lot of what we saw in the last couple of years was driven by television? There's been a lot of commentary on that. You know, Arvind Kejriwal's press conferences are timed at relative prime time. 5 in the evening is a good time to have live, you know, press conferences, have sensational exposés. But is the problem that both sides haven't really had a clear agenda beyond that?
See, in the case of Anna Hazare, frankly, he hasn't been the force he hasn't been a force to reckon with since December 2011, when his fast in Mumbai, frankly fizzled out.
Yeah.
He was a success earlier in 2011 when the issue of corruption was very much alive and exercising people, and when the government stupidly arrested him early in the morning just after Independence Day, it became a huge issue. But Mani referred to the freedom movement. Mahatma Gandhi had one iconic fast and one iconic mass movement in a decade. Anna Hazare tried 3 in 1 year. It was never going to succeed. It was always going to fizzle out. Coming to Arvind Kejriwal, I see him more as a pressure group than a political party. He is in the muckraker tradition, and I don't mean that as a term of abuse at all. There is a muckraker tradition in American history going back to Upton Sinclair, when the excesses of capitalism of the early part of the 20th century were protested against, and correctives came in. And today, the cronyism and the cozy nexus we see in our public life, in our business and our politics, certainly needs to be exposed. He has named names such as Robert Vadra,
which nobody would dare to name.
So he's named the BJP president. He's named names, which is a good thing. He certainly played a role. But in terms of sustaining himself as a political force, I can't really see him winning seats and votes.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for Retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.